Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. And we're talking with the inimitable. Mm-hmm. That's a new word.
I like that.
Dr. Thomas Pilecki.
Mm-hmm. We're lucky to have Pilecki.
There you go.
There you go.
We're poets and don't know it. What, feet like Longfellow?
Or legs like Longfellow? 2016.
I wanted to go back to your talking about a certain amount of sleep. And I find that I require more sleep than I ever used to.
Sure, that's okay.
And if I wake up too early, I'm tired when I get up.
That's all that matters, that you pay attention to that and you figure that out and you don't try to power through it, because that's what most people do. We're conditioned that all these warning signs that our body throws up at us, all these alarms going off, are just an inconvenience, just a nuisance that we're supposed to power through. Take this pill, drink this potion, do whatever you need to do to go on with your life. And don't worry about those headaches. Don't worry about those aches and pains. Don't worry about those digestive problems. Don't worry about that your immune system is overwhelmed every time from fall through winter. Just take this stuff and everything's going to be great. But that's all bogus. That's not real. None of that is real. The symptoms that we're trained to believe are the problem aren't. They're just your body's way of communicating with you, and we are so conditioned to not pay attention to how we feel after we eat something, not pay attention to how we do our daily activities and our energy level, because there's this product in order to make everything right in your life. There's this drug to make all of your pain go away. There's this drink to give you the energy of a teenager again, or whatever it is, or lose. Here, take these pills. You don't have to change your diet. You don't have to exercise. Just take these pills and the weight's just gonna fall off.
That's a bunch of, I won't say it, but
you were on the air.
Well,
it is. But it's interesting because over the last 4 or 5 years, or last three years plus, I've required more rest. And I'm not the type of person who will take a power nap in the afternoon. I've never done that. To me, that's a waste of time.
And you haven't, though, also taken a power drink or taken drugs or anything else to change that, have you?
No.
Yeah, because you're not that type of person.
No.
But I think what Dr. Pilecki is alluding to are people just think, they're going to take something to make them stay awake and counteract what the true needs of their body are.
Well, it was interesting. I knew I had to be at the gym at 8:30 with the group exercise group, and I thought, okay, that means I have to get up a little after 7 to get everything done. And I thought last night, by 9:30 I was in bed.
That's all right.
Because I thought, if I'm going to have to get up early, and 7 o'clock is early for me anymore, only when I have to go someplace. But I thought, I need to get into that bed, lie down, relax, read, and go to sleep.
Yeah. Well,
and I'm able to do that.
Here's why. Artificial light is a relatively new concept. I mean, we've had fire for a long time, but as far as electricity and staying up all hours of the night, this is the past couple 100 years at the most, 100 years, give or take. And our bodies have not changed that dramatically much. Our physiology has not changed that dramatically much. We are the type of animal that we are is active during the daylight hours and rests during the dark hours. That's what we're set up for. That's what the chemical pathways, the neurological pathways, we are on a daily cycle. Just like reproductive women are on a monthly cycle, every person, man and woman, is on a daily cycle as well. Hormones ebb and flow. Neurotransmitters ebb and flow naturally. They're supposed to. This is how we operate. And when you start cheating that, when you start pushing the ones that control when you're supposed to be active and awake and when you're supposed to be asleep and repairing and repairing and from the stresses that you accumulated during the day and preparing for the stresses that you're going to face tomorrow, you cheat the system. And you can only cheat the system for so long before you're not prepared for any new stress that comes along. And then when it does come along, it knocks you on your butt.
Absolutely.
But the artificial light that you alluded to, though, is like television screens, computer screens, laptops.
Yep.
We're being exposed to them, on a constant basis, our cell phones, and it produces a change, I think, in those neurotransmitters that then
absolutely
ultimately
inhibits melatonin production.
Yep.
You know what's interesting? Birds. Birds go to sleep when it becomes dusk. They wake up when it becomes light. And I have a couple of bird feeders in the backyard and in the front yard, and there's nothing more relaxing to wake up and hear those birds on that bird feeder, chirping away like crazy, fighting with each other, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
And then when it becomes dusk, you'll see them one by one all fly away.
Do you ever see them, find them sleeping somewhere? Have you ever seen that?
Oh, yes.
Oh, you have? That's pretty
yes.
good. I can't.
They sleep in
usually
the trees.
I look around, but now the trees are barren, so.
No, not the fir trees, not the.
Oh, yeah, correct. But most of our trees are barren. We have a fir tree too, and I'm sure they're up there, but.
Oh, they are.
What's up with birds? They can.
Yeah,
I usually don't see them. They're camouflaged, I think.
Well, we have bushes.
Camellia birds.
in the backyard, and you can see the rustle if one of them interrupts another. That those leaves will go like this, and you think, there,
family.
But it's incredible to watch them, and you can actually see them go into the bushes and into the trees, and they're all still. And I think to myself, why don't they fall off?
Yeah, occasionally they do. Actually,
yes,
we've got
true.
pet birds, and as they get older, they start falling. They don't perch as well, and you'll see them as they get too old. They'll stay on the ground.
But do you ever see them on the ground, and have to take their bodies and bury them? Because I don't see that.
Oh, where do they go?
Because I just wonder if they have hospice for birds.
No, well, it's nature. There's something that will come along
and get it.
Get them.
Yeah, we've had
Cats?
No, not cats.
Mountain lions?
Those
Leopards?
bandit creatures, raccoons. Oh, we have a regular family.
Do they eat birds?
That
they eat anything.
they eat
they love
anything.
birds.
They love birds. Oh, how
But
sad.
the house above us, the one next door, and ours, you can hear them.
The raccoons?
Oh, yes. They're fighting among themselves. I went out there about 10 minutes to 8 the other night, and they were screeching at each other like you wouldn't believe. I finally turned the hose on and sprayed it over there, and they scattered like crazy because they're pesky creatures.
Yeah.
They really are.
Yeah, they're nasty. You wouldn't want to tangle with one, especially a big one. They get up to like 40 pounds.
I know. I used to have a pet one.
Yeah.
Oh, she
pet
was
raccoon?
Pet raccoon.
Barbara.
No, I did.
How stressful was that?
Oh, we loved her.
Oh.
She was house trained. She'd go in and out of the doggy door. And she loved to climb up onto the counter, open the cupboard door, and pull out these little Cheez-Its I used to leave in there. Both of those little paws.
Pretty smart.
They're incredible creatures.
Oh, yeah.
And shake them.
Yeah.
On the countertop, and then she'd grab a few, she'd go down to her water, and then she'd swish it around and eat it. They're
How did you
magnificent.
make a raccoon your pet? Where was this? In California?
Oh yeah, it was in Canoga Park. You used to be able to have them as pets.
Oh.
They're illegal now.
Yeah.
You
they
can't
are.
do it.
Yeah.
You cannot do it.
So
but
how-
that was in 70s.
So how long did you keep the did you have a name for your raccoon?
Bandit.
Oh, okay, good. I would have said Zorro.
But she would sleep down inside the bed, down at our feet.
Wow.
Yeah, she was up when we were up, And when we went to bed, she went to bed.
So how long did she live for?
We had her 16 years.
Wow, 16 years.
Yes.
What happened? Birds came and took her away?
No, we moved and couldn't accommodate her. And
put her in a skilled nursing
and
facility.
I took her up to Thousand Oaks to the they have
Sanctuary there.
Yes.
Yeah, for the
and took her there. And at least once every couple of weeks, we would go up and visit her. She would run over to the edge of that cage. She knew us. She was so lovable. I'd put her up here on my shoulder. One arm would go here, and one arm would go here.
Wow.
And she'd go.
So did you ever hear what happened to Bandit, or?
Oh, I'm sure she passed
relegated to a walker
away.
in a wheelchair.
But she was among her, her crew.
Wow.
But it was wonderful. Every time we would go there, she would run up to the edge of the cage. Of course, we couldn't get in there, but she would chatter to us like crazy. She recognized
So you know
us.
the chatter then of raccoon.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, see, I was
Very
wondering.
tuned into
I
it.
probably would not recognize the chatter of a raccoon. I'm gonna have to listen.
Oh, you
online.
will. If you hear one, you will know it. But I
And
mean,
I probably
they are,
have heard it, but I thought it was maybe a bird or something.
No, not that late at night.
Wow. Okay.
It's a raccoon. It's a mother scolding her babies, or it's the babies fighting each other.
Wow.
And an occasional, you'll hear this, "Meow, meow." One of them caught a cat.
Caught a cat.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
They're
They're
vicious.
nasty.
They're vicious creatures. They are.
Did Bandit ever catch cats for you?
Oh, no.
Bring
She
them
was
home?
domestic. She was a
Okay.
domestic.
Did you
animal.
feed Bandit like cat food, or what did you feed? What would you? Is it raccoon food?
They love dog food. They
Yes.
love
Dog
cat
food.
food.
Yeah,
They
dog
love-
food and
yeah.
cat food.
We had a
That's what
problem
we
with
ate.
that. They would come and try to take our food.
But they loved our cats. They got along with her. She got along with our cats. They
Didn't-
used the
didn't
same.
eat 'em.
They used the
Didn't
same
notice a
potty
tail
box.
missing or anything.
No, they used the same potty box. It was amazing.
That is
Yeah.
domesticated.
She was wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Such a loving creature.
So see if you can segue into some transition of that, Dr. Palaki.
Oh well, eating right. Let's go there. They were
Not
eating-
dog food though.
But pets are good for the psyche.
Absolutely.
They really are.
Yeah.
They calm you down.
Sure.
They distract you. They keep you moving, and that's all healthy in my opinion.
Absolutely.
there's
When
no doubt.
that is one of the healthier distractions. We're faced with so many distractions, technological distractions that take us away from our natural state, that take us away from the way that we're supposed to function on a daily basis. And we're not supposed to be sitting in front of a computer all day long and all night long, or in front of a television all night long. That is a real departure from the way things are. But spending time with your pet, one of my big things is I take my dogs for a walk every morning. And one of the keys that I give in this lecture this Saturday at Valencia Wellness Center at 1, the 10 easy steps towards high energy health, is a morning walk. And what you do on that morning walk is really important. Preparing yourself mentally, emotionally for the day. While you're in a peak physical state, while you're walking with high energy, really focusing on gratitude and love and contribution and all of these things that make you feel good. Because unfortunately, most of us only experience those things sporadically in our lives.
That's very true.
And we're more conditioned to really pay attention to how that guy cut me off in traffic, or how that person was rude in the line or in the movies or whatever. And you get conditioned to focus on all the negativity, and you build, and we call it stacking. You stack these emotional triggers. You stack this pathway in your body that is a neurological, chemical, emotional, mental pathway in your body to be conditioned towards all of the negative responses. If you're not every day preconditioning yourself with the positive emotions, And that is just while you're walking, really remember, get back in the moment of a time where you were just laughing hysterically, where you were just really acknowledged for some accomplishment, where you were really in touch with nature, where you really felt a connection, whether it to whatever you believe in as a creator or the universe or however it works for you, or to another person. And all of those things, and you just really start trying to remember all of those powerfully positive emotions and those experiences, and you relive them every morning on your walk while you're in a high physical state. And when someone's really rude, when someone cuts you off, when someone is kicking the back of your seat in a movie or something, you tend to have a slightly different response than if all you can do is focus on that interruption of whatever you're trying to accomplish.
Do you think that by doing that, by focusing in the morning, that it helps to diminish that somebody, the 5-year-old kicking your seat in a theater?
Well, it's pathways. It's chemical, electrical pathways in your body that trigger responses. And when you're conditioned, when you're totally conditioned for that negative response, that's what's going to happen. You have no control over it. But if you spend 5 minutes every day on your high energy walk building those pathways of positive emotions, you tend to have a different response when something doesn't go exactly your way.
So take us on that pathway. Take us on that walk. You get up, you get your dogs, and you're off and running. And, most people walking their dogs are watching for traffic, watching for bandit and raccoons. But also, if they poop, you got to clean up after them, things like that. But where do you then start focusing? And how long do you think for you, into your walk and moving into this pathway and training your brain? Where do you... where are you not focusing on your dog or the problems in the world, but focusing on how you can get better pathways, literally, in your brain and your mind and your soul and your body, all of that?
Well, I've had a couple of years practice for it, so it's not binary. It's not like I can't focus on my surroundings and do this simultaneously. So I am safe. I'm hyper aware of my surroundings at all times, but I'm also doing the conditioning. So it takes a little bit. It's like, chewing gum and walking.
Each day.
Oh, yeah. So there is a pattern. There is an exercise that you learn and you practice and you get better at, and you're not going to do it perfectly. And in fact, when you start remembering these high positive emotional states throughout the course of your life, invariably some negativity is going to clump in there with it. It's weird how that works, but you start really starting to focus on these amazing things that happened in your life, and then all of a sudden you get a really powerfully negative flash of something, and you can't really fight it, so you just work through it and try to refocus on the positive, and eventually you get to the point where those negative things don't creep in anymore so much.
But at your talk on Saturday, you'll go through the how to train.
Well, as much as I can. It's only an hour long. When I learned this was a weekend. This was an intensive weekend of really conditioning yourself for this state, stacking these positive emotions. And it took, with one of the best instructors in the world, Tony Robbins, it took 4 hours to cover this one thing. This is only one of 10 things that I'm going to cover. And so it's going to be accordingly.
So it's rapid fire then.
Yeah. So you'll get the basics. And if you want more, there's a way that you can get more with me. It's part of what I do in my practice. Most people come in just for the ache or the pain, and they get treated and they're happy with that. But there is a whole other side of what we do with our patients. This is what I believe is the real healthcare reform that is absolutely necessary. It's not going to come down from the insurance companies. It's certainly not going to come down from the government. I don't even want to get into what I believe this affordable healthcare really is. Well, I will for a second, because we only have a minute left. It's the bailout. Just like there was a bubble in the housing industry, and after it burst when everybody said it couldn't ever happen, and it did burst and destroyed the world economy, and we're only scratching our way out of this 8 years later. Healthcare's a bubble.
That's right.
Especially the American healthcare system is an absolute bubble, and they were smart enough when they saw what happened in the housing market that if this bubble burst the same way, it would be much worse. So they got their bailout in advance, and that's what affordable health care is. It is nothing more than a bailout in advance, and they're not taking that to heart. Nothing has changed. It's still the same way. Mm-hmm. So as far as what I can do about this is teach people how to make their health their priority. Give them the tools so that they don't get sick in the first place. Because the system, as good as it is, as caring as certain doctors are, the system is tragically flawed.
Mm-hmm. And, my fear, of course, is that as it is a bailout, that we're heading, of course, in the wrong direction.
Absolutely.
There are political candidates out there that talk about finding a solution, but I think we've been so propagandized in this nation that a certain system, this present system, works, but to me, all that does is puts money into people's pocket and doesn't allow the care to be rendered to the American people. Yeah. But until we stop shying away from terminologies like socialized medicine or Medicare for all or single-payer plans, until we start to actually look at them as a possible solution, we're going to be in trouble. And, I don't think we'll be able to bail out ourselves again. I think people will continue to lose their homes, will go into bankruptcy, and will have poor health until we realize we have to move in a different direction.
Absolutely. That's what this Saturday is about. 1 p.m. at the Valencia Wellness Center. Really condensed 1 hour, the 10 top tips you need to take care of yourself so that you don't have to be put in a situation where the system is responsible for you.
Now, where is the Valencia Wellness Center located?
250 Peachland.
Which is in Plaza Posada, which is close to Valencia Pharmacy.
Yeah, it is in Valencia Pharmacy.
Yes, it is in the pharmacy.
And it's in the building that actually burned down a few years ago, but rebuilt, and it's nice. A nice meeting room and a place to go and get some understanding of bail yourself out for the time being.
Absolutely. It's a hop, skip, and a jump from your office.
Right across the hallway.
Yes, yes. Can you hop, skip, and jump there?
Probably, yeah. Haven't tried it.
I'd like to see that. I'll be egging you on.
There you go.
Is it time to take a break? Oh my goodness, this time flies, doesn't it? Does when you're having fun.
There you go.
I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Dr. Jean Dorio with my co-host, Barbara Cochran, on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. We're talking to Dr. Thomas Palucki, and, we've always tried to look at topics that are important. And, we've touched on some, and, a lot of this is related to our seniors. But with your talk on Saturday, I think it's important that people get an understanding that there's a bailout here in this country, and just like the economy just like a balloon popped, the healthcare system will pop too. That bailout will be gone, and people need to know what they're going to do in the meantime to sustain their health.
Well, I believe that the bottom line is don't get sick in the first place. Don't believe that you don't have responsibility, that you don't have to work at your health every day, that these aches and pains that you take pills for on a daily basis are part of the normal operating system. This is not the way things work. This is a fabrication that has been sold and sold and sold and sold to us for way too long, and then people are literally paying with their lives. We have the most expensive healthcare system on the planet. It represents the 7th largest economy on the planet. This is a major thing, and it's all based on getting more money out of people, not getting a population as healthy as possible.
Profit.
There are dozens of countries doing a better job at keeping their population healthier than we keep it in this country.
How about 3 dozen?
3 dozen. So what is most important, regardless of what happens with this thing, the most important thing is start using everything in your power to stay healthy. Make it a priority. Your health is only a priority when you lose it in this country, and that has to change.
And even if you do have medical problems, you can learn certain ways of improving your health.
Absolutely.
So don't think for a second, our listeners, that you can survive. You can, even though you're not doing well, you can still find a way to get information that'll help you out.
Absolutely.
So that's this Saturday, Wellness Center.
1 p.m.
1 p.m. It's an hour.
Avenue.
It's an hour lecture. Is there a phone number we can get from you to?
Oh, shoot, there is. Call the Valencia Wellness Center. We are not handling reservations, but it is a limited space. So RSVP to the Valencia Wellness Center. Just look that number up. I'm sorry, I don't have that information.
Dr. Thomas Palucki, we're lucky to have Palucki. Thanks for being on the show today.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it. We are sponsored by Advanced Audiology and SCV Home Care. Listen to us next week on the Senior Hour. Now go and enhance your quality of life.